Welcome to Monday and the first of snowfall for us to enjoy for 2025's winter season. And it's not quite winter just yet. We still have 5 weeks until winter.
Yeah. Well, on my way in today, I felt the urge to listen to a Christmas song, so I put on Last Christmas by Wham, which is my favorite Christmas song.
That's your favorite Christmas song?
It is my favorite Christmas song.
Really?
And I decided if I'm going to listen to Christmas music, I want the first one I hear to be on my terms. So I just went ahead and did it.
Mine is Andy Williams' It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year. It just says holiday season.
I also kind of like Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time, which I know is a hot take.
Yeah. That and Happy Christmas by John Lennon, I've never been a big fan of. But
War is Over.
Yeah.
Yeah. That one's, I like John's part, but when Yoko comes in, it kind of tanks it for me.
I think a lot of Beatles fans had the same feeling in that regard. Hi, everybody, and welcome to the show. As you can tell, we've changed our background to a winter scene because that's what we woke up to this morning. Now, we had snow here in the Chillicothe area, but down by Pike Lake, let's show you what it looked like at the Ramey Ranch. You see that's almost 4 inches of snow. You can't even see the blades of grass sticking up out of the snow this morning, and the flakes were still falling as I was leaving. Now, this is part of that lake effect snow they talk about. We live close to Pike Lake, so that's like extra lake effect in that regard. But look at that. And then this was through the Huntington Hills this morning, and they have yet to combine this corn, and it got snowed on. Yeah. But then you don't see this very often, but the leaves are still falling on top of snow. This happened outside of the paper mill this morning as I was sitting at the traffic light. I thought, I'm going to capture this just to let people see what. Yeah. So if you were surprised, Channel 4 News last night, I stayed up after the ball game was over, and I was catching Ben Gelber tell me that now we shouldn't have much more. It'll stick on the ground, but not so much to the roadways, and you'll probably just have to take a broom and brush off some snow. And then I walked out, and I saw 4 inches of snow in my car.
And schools are closing. Yeah.
And to top all that, as I approached Nipshin, got into Nipshin, and out by Fredneck's, there was slush like this deep on 772.
Yeah.
And I met an ODOT truck on my way into town. He was heading to, I guess, Nipshin to clear things out. So it's like I-71 is that divider sometimes for a lot of the weather that we get. Well, 772 and the Huntington Hills seems to be a similar DMZ, so to speak.
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the weather since we're jumping into the forecast for you today. Snow showers for the rest of the day. Temperatures will reach around 35, so not very warm at all today. Cloud cover and only about 40 for your high tomorrow. And then we'll have sunshine and warming up to 54 by this Wednesday. So we will have some fluctuation with the temperature. And it's this little Arctic blast that we have coming through right now. And you watch next week, it'll be 75.
Yeah, probably.
It's usually how it goes. All right, we have had some cancellations and some changes to much, like you mentioned, Aaron, with the schools, some of them being impacted by what happened today. We'll get into some of that for you today with one particular event that was postponed. Details coming up. But let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. They are your trusted comfort advisor. You can trust them for when your heater's not working and you need some heat. They can take care of that for you. During the summertime, if it's not cooling for you, they'll take care of that. And if it's wet and you have some plumbing issues, they can take care of that for you as well. Click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, and it takes you to AccurateHVAC.com. That's the website for Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Wherever you are there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing. Download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
My name is Matt Shelton. I am the principal here at Edward Lee McLean High School in Greenfield, Ohio. So McLean's partnership with Adena is very extensive. There's an athletic trainer on our campus every day assisting with students. We also have a physician that works with our football team. The mobile health unit has been significant for a lot of kids in that they might not easily have access to have their immunizations or to get a physical or just to be seen. It's more than just education here at McLean. It's also well-being and focusing on how to live a healthy lifestyle.
Welcome back, and coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at news as well as sports and this date in history for you. But you can find much of what we're sharing with you today on our website. That's littermedia.com. And not too far from now, we'll be looking at what's going on with the holidays and everything as well, details and all that in the coming days. But first, let's start off with something that got postponed. This was scheduled for today, the Adena FFA Veterans Day Breakfast. We went to Adena schools and visited with the kids to talk about this event. Well, it's been rescheduled for this Friday, and that will take place at 7:45 for the breakfast. The assembly will begin at 9 a.m., scheduled for this coming Friday. So everything is as normal. It's just they've moved it due to the inclement weather we had this morning, which did Adena cancel?
Yes, they did.
So they were closed.
I saw
for
that
the
on
day.
my Twitter feed today.
Yeah, so don't be surprised if you see some of that pop up, and it popped up today. So we will salute the veterans. Tomorrow is Veterans Day, and I think, I don't know this for sure, but I want to say that Huntington Schools usually has a program. A couple of other schools also in the area having Veterans Day programs. If their school was impacted today, it will most likely be tomorrow or the day after. I think Huntington was already out of school today, and they were going to have their ceremony tomorrow. So keep those things in mind.
Yes. The First National Bank Jingle Bell Luminary Weekend Tree Lighting with carolers, Santa, and hot chocolate is coming to Waverly on Thursday, November 20th at 6:30 p.m. This event is going to be held at State Route 335 across from the Waverly Downtown Stadium.
You've seen that big pine tree that's right there. That's the one that they always decorate that tree, and that's where they have this lighting ceremony. Now, a few years back, they were going through a bunch of construction, and this was well before you joined us, Aaron, but they had taken a bunch of the barrels and they stacked them like a tree, about the same height as that tree. Yeah. And it was kind of a humorous homage to what everybody had been experienced through Waverly. In fact, I saw the guys they had a front end loader and everything. They were moving some stuff around when I was down in Waverly last week to get my hair cut. So, Pike County Community Fund presents Christmas in the Village. That is coming up on November 22nd at 6 p.m. At 2nd Street in Piketon, Santa and Mrs. Claus will be on hand for the tree lighting and other activities that will take place that day in Piketon.
On Friday, December 12th, the Adena Health Foundation and the Adena Fayette Medical Center Community Council will host Hospital in Paradise, which is this year's annual gala. The event begins at 6 p.m. at the Mahan Building on the Fayette County Fairgrounds. This year's theme celebrates not only a festive evening together, but also a transformational moment for healthcare in our area, the construction of the new Adena Fayette Medical Center. For ticket and sponsorship opportunities, you can visit adena.org/AFMC Gala.
Now let's think about, county fair time.
Yes.
Pike County 4-H conducting a market steer weigh-in, and that's coming up on Saturday, December 13th, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at the Beef Barns on the Pike County Fairgrounds. All steers must be weighed and identified on this date to be eligible to show and sell at the fair, which isn't until July. Members may weigh in 3 beef steers and may show and sell 2 market steers at the fair, provided they do not bring any other market animal to the fair. All youth must indicate on the weigh-in form if they are participating in the Farm to Fork program. This is the only time for entries to be submitted. You can download the ID form at go.osu.edu/PikeSteerID. Our road report is here in Ross County, a bridge replacement project underway on State Route 772 between Roselle Creek Road and Turner Road. At least one lane will be maintained using flaggers. The estimated completion date is this coming Monday, a week from today. So they're out there working in the cold today, as it were. Coming up in a moment, we'll take a look at sports for you. Oh, before we get to all that, though, let me take a moment to say happy anniversary to my granddaughter, Paradise, and her husband. They have been married for a year now.
Congratulations.
By the way, her husband's name is Hayden. I'm kidding, Hayden. Happy anniversary of those kids. They made a trek down to Gatlinburg to celebrate their anniversary, and I think they camped out. Imagine that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good thing it didn't snow on them down there. All right, coming up in a moment to look at sports, but first let's tell you about the Hometown Motors Incorporated clearance sale continuing for Skag. Yes, the prices are so low they've probably lost their minds. Choose from a wide selection of Skag mowing equipment, but you better hurry. Once the clearance inventory is gone, it's gone, and the low prices will be out the door with them. Don't let this opportunity pass you by. Today's Monday. They're only open until 2 o'clock. But do yourself a favor. You can call Hometown Motors at 740-773-8826 for more details. Shop them online at hometown-motors.com or stop in at 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. Hometown Motors Incorporated, your store for the great outdoors. The Pike County Career and Technology Center provides hands-on, skilled trades training with engaging curriculums and endless possibilities. From automotive technology, carpentry, business management, to culinary arts and interactive media. From electricity, welding, HVAC, engineering, and medical technology, to pre-nursing, basic food service, and public safety. We're preparing our youth for America's workforce through today's technology. To learn more about Pike County CTC, visit pikectc.org. Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today. Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
At Tomlinson Insurance, we've been protecting families, farms, and businesses since 1853. from auto, home, farm, life, or health. We tailor coverage that fits your world with multiple carriers to meet your insurance needs. Real people, real service, local agents who can answer the phone and care when it matters most. Tomlinson Insurance. Let our history be your future. Call or stop by today.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Time for sports. So we've got our weekend rack up.
I don't know what that is.
So I think it's because you were talking about hitting deer. I had wreck on my mind. But the Unionota Shermans, they advanced with yet another win. 21-12 win over Columbus East Friday. You were at this game.
It was a good game. It was a lot of fun.
They were down, right?
Briefly,
and then they came from behind to take the lead. I messaged Matt Hoops on my way back from my game, and I said, congratulations on getting that monkey off the back, because it's been so long for Unionota since they've had the taste of postseason victory. So congratulations. The Tanks will now head to New Lexington this Friday, and they'll take on New Lexington in the regional semifinals. They're the team that snapped Logan Elm's season last year as well. I was, meanwhile, up at Columbus Academy. Zane Trace had its season come to a close, 35-23 in the Division 5 playoffs. And you can see Coach Dylan Weirs talking to his team after the contest was done. He had a lot of good things to say. You know, they won the second half. I think they outscored them 16-7 in the second half. But unfortunately, they found themselves in a hole with a touchdown scored just before, his time was expiring from the first half after a blocked punt, and that put them down 28-7 at halftime. But you can hear what Coach had to say to his team when you go to our YouTube channel and look for this video right here. Also, Circleville had its season come to a close, falling to Indian Valley 48-14. Jackson edged Miami Trace 24-21. Washington Courthouse had difficulty with Indian Hill, falling 57-14. And Eastern Pike had its season stopped in a 38-6 loss to Fort Recovery. You can find all the scores on our Haynes Total Healthcare High School scoreboard, available at littermedia.com.
The Southeast District Prep Sports Writers released their all-district football teams over the weekend. Some of the highlight honors include Chillicothe's Carte Ligon, obviously, as D3 Offensive Player of the Year. Jackson's Jacob Allen is Lineman of the Year, while Jackson's Andy Hall and Jerry Williams of Miami Trace are D3 Coaches of the Year. Uniota's Cody Braden is D4 Offensive Player of the Year, and Matt Hoops of Unionota Coach of the Year. Frankie Hirsch of Huntington is the D6 Offensive Player of the Year, and Clay Beeler is their Coach of the Year. Eastern Pike swept most of the top D7 honors, with Brewer Tomlinson as Lineman of the Year. Offensive Player of the Year is Eric Manley Jr. Defensive Player of the Year went to Cade Leist, and Scott Thomason, Coach of the Year.
Bloom Carroll is the state runner-up in Division III OHSAA volleyball, falling to Tip City Tippecanoe 3-1 Saturday. The Bulldogs set a school record for 27 wins this season. They garnered the first state runner-up finish as well. In Division 5, New Lexington advanced to the state finals with a 5-set win over Marion Pleasant, but then they fell to 4-time defending state champ Lake Catholic 3-1.
The Columbus Crew saw their MLS season end with a 2-1 loss to Cincinnati FC in the third and deciding match of their opening playoff series over the weekend.
They are the number one team in the land. The Ohio State football Buckeyes rolled past Purdue 34-10. Jeremiah Smith had 10 receptions for 137 yards and a touchdown. He is a man's man. It's incredible. OSU now 9-0. They will return home this Saturday to host the UCLA Bruins.
I'll tell you who's not the number one team in the land, and that's the Cleveland Browns. They dropped to 2-7 following their 27-20 loss to the Jets, whose only wins have come against the Browns and the Bengals.
And they, according to my calculations, they are now in the 4th place position for the NFL draft selection.
And the Commanders are 8th, I think, right now.
Is that right? The Cavs, the Bengals were idle. They travel to Pittsburgh next week. Pittsburgh suffered a difficult loss last night, falling in their game against the Chargers. The Browns have the Ravens next in Cleveland. Baltimore has won 3 straight and will probably end up winning the AFC North, be my guess. The Cleveland Cavaliers were winners over the Bulls, 128-122 Saturday. They will be in Miami to take on the Heat tonight.
And the Columbus Blue Jackets fall to Vancouver Canucks 4-3. They play the Oilers tonight.
I don't know if that's in Edmonton or if they are back home yet. I'm not sure. I haven't checked on that. The Ohio State men's basketball team will be honoring one of the greatest basketball players in the history of the game. That's coming up this Sunday. The Buckeyes host Notre Dame for Jerry Lucas Legacy Night at the Shot. The celebration of Lucas's legacy will begin on Friday when Ohio State unveils a statue of the Buckeye basketball great outside the northwest entrance of the Shot, followed by some special elements at Sunday's men's basketball game. And the men back in action tomorrow night. I think it's Appalachian State who they play. And the women were winners over Coppin State yesterday. And that's a look at sports. All right, coming up, this date in history as we go back to 1775.
But first, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane. Nearly 100 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
Mark came to the Adena Orthopedic and Spine Institute in severe arm pain from a degenerative disc. Minimally invasive spinal surgery got him back to what matters most. At Adena, we do what we love, so you can too.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Time for this date in history. We have not prepared an image for this.
Sorry. You can sing their song if you know it.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I don't know the lyrics, but it starts off something like, from the halls of Montezuma to the shores of something bay. I believe that's it. During the American Revolution, 1775, the Continental Congress passed a resolution stating that 2 battalions of Marines be raised. This would be for service as landing forces for the recently formed Continental Navy. The resolution created the Continental Marines and is now observed as the birth date for the original U.S. Marines, who distinguished themselves in a number of important operations during the Revolutionary War. They've also been the first ones to go in so many other conflicts over the years. If I remember correctly, shores of Tripoli, which is in northern Africa, if I'm not mistaken, and that's where leathernecks came from. They would wear leather around their necks to protect their necks from some of the pirates. They had swords, beheadings, and things of that sort. They also have been called jarheads because of their haircuts and everything. I have 2 U.S. Marine Corps members who are Sunday school students, former Sunday school students now, because one's in Hawaii and the other, I think, is in Georgia, if I'm not mistaken. But we have the promise of getting to see them this holiday season. So looking forward to seeing Gary and Josh Richmond. Thank you for your service, and thank you to the many who have served from 1775 to today, a number of them, not only in the U.S. Marine Corps, but in the many other branches of the military serving our country. All right, that's it for the program today, and we're back at it again tomorrow. I believe Mike Smith will be back with us.
Yes.
Yes. So get ready to see the return of Mr. Hand 2, which you can see right now, only you see his almost entire body, the upper torso. That's it for the show. Thanks for watching today. Back at it again tomorrow here on another edition of Litter Media Live.